Good day ladies and welcome to the family-friendly Gulag. Sniper Elite on PC is one of those games that for the longest time had flown right under my coked up radar. Up until a follow-up under the name of Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army was released in 2013. And because of the game's obvious inclusion of not just zombies, but Germany's finest zombies, Nazi zombies, I almost naturally followed the calling of my forefathers' endless shame running through my ice-cold, vaccinated veins to confront my demons once and for all. I must confess that when Sniper Elite VR was announced, I got pretty excited about the potential of the game in VR. And among the first things that occurred to me were, will it have zombies? And will it work with a gun stock? More importantly, my gun stock. Because I'm a selfish bastard, of course. And don't worry kids, I was only trying to get an emotional response from you when I mentioned the drugs. Remember, only losers do drugs. NANI?! Sniper Elite VR, as the name suggests, puts a heavy focus on every true nerd's self-proclaimed speciality, sniping. While other guns are available and will occasionally serve as a worthy backup or substitute, the game is all about precision. Deadly, non-compromising and bone-crushing precision, to be precise. Before we jump to the meat and bone of our very gunstick-flavored review of Sniper Elite VR, let's just cover our asses and get the boring, normal, gunstockless controls out of the way. Just so we can say we followed the real VR trendsetters on the tubes. The options menu will allow both hardcore VR vets as well as lactose addicts to enjoy the game thanks to the availability of both locomotion and teleportation. Within these two movement parameters, the game offers a healthy amount of barf-reducing comfort options, something we've come to expect from these larger budget VR games. Picking up guns and items feels a bit like a clunkier budget version of Half-Life Alyx, and I wish the cursor would snap a bit more naturally when desperately reaching for that one magazine while Nazi scouts are setting your superfluous behind on fire. Weapons unfortunately are a bit of a mixed bag in terms of handling. Rifles handle the way they should, and developing a healthy rhythm between aiming down your sights and reloading your sniper rifle feels satisfying and fun. Machine guns feel powerful and deliver that you expect them to have. Okay. Pistols unfortunately feel anything but intuitive, and I kept on pulling out my pistols magazine, trying to bring up my left hand to stabilize my aim. Grenades handle okay, though I never felt like my throw-in motion and momentum translated well enough into the game, usually resulting in a much shorter throw-in arc than expected. For now, the golden example of proper weapons handling in VR remains Contractors VR. Sorry boys, but they said it, so it's the truth. Now the big question on everyone's mind, of course, is how does all of this translate to a more wishful scenario where every man, woman and child on the planet own a VR gunstock? The biggest problem we more often than not encounter is the absence of a gunstock calibration tool in these games. You can't really blame the developers of Sniper Elite VR for not including one, given the still somewhat novel state of gunstocks, but we'll blame them anyway because we truly believe that every modern game, from the latest Mario or puzzle game to the next Beat Shaver, should support and encourage and stimulate the use of gunstocks. Unfortunately for us gunstick addicts, the absence of a gunstock calibration tool or option once again shows. It's felt like a shot to the heart. Not what you're expecting, guys, but I'm not playing that shit again. Ever. While I initially thought my gun stock was more than adequately aligning with the in-game rifle model, I soon realized that it's not just very dependent on the actual rifle I'm using, but also the fact that the game somehow manages to push the gun model ever so slightly off axis when reloading or otherwise letting go of the rifle with my non-dominant hand. The only way I could remedy this to an extent was by detaching from the gun stock, grabbing the model in-game and then physically reattaching to the gun stock, which kinda renders the gun stock obsolete because this process simply takes too long. Still, I can't say that using a gun stock isn't fun in Sniper Elite VR. It just comes with a couple of practical trade-offs for all that extra immersion. Enemy AI in Sniper Elite VR is a bit like that cousin of yours that you haven't seen in about 30 years. You know, he probably still exists somewhere, but for the most part the dude is pretty forgettable. What the enemy lack in intelligence, they mostly make up for in sheer numbers, and on the highest difficulty you won't have much trouble getting perforated in a matter of seconds. Excuse me. When it comes to presentation, PC is the clear winner. Not much of a surprise, huh? What did surprise us, however, was how good the game holds up on Quest 2 when directly comparing it to its master racer. The game runs at a steady 90 FPS and textures look surprisingly good, with the biggest difference between both versions to be found in the lighting department. You can tell that the game was made by very talented people who wanted to deliver a more than solid VR experience. The musical score of the game complements the desperation and bravery of these men and women fighting a fascist regime with superior firepower and numbers. And the voice acting also does its part. It just doesn't do it very well.
This place has so many memories.
Sound effects are of high quality, with weapons and explosions sounding very powerful and convincing. Pretty good stuff all in all. And that famous kill cam is still there, as you've probably seen a million times by now in this video. You can tone it down or even disable it completely if it's not your thing, or if you've simply grown tired of watching it. Much like you've grown tired of watching and pumping to the same German porn video over and over and over again. Aua, das tut weh.
Conclusion time.
You see, we believe in a world where every nation and government should provide its people with free quality VR gun stocks. But that's simply not the case. So if we sounded harsh at times, it's because we're idiots. And by us, I mean I. Trying games with a gun stock is something I simply enjoy doing, for better or worse. While I can't say this has been as much of a positive surprise as, let's say, Dead Horizon Reloaded, which worked rather well with a gun stock. Check out our review of the game, please. The game on its own is one of the more impressive VR titles to come out in recent memory. You can tell the developers share our love for VR and really delivered a more than solid game with fun weapon mechanics, a lengthy campaign and a decent story? Seriously? No. Whether you're willing to spend 30 duck sphincters on Sniper Elite VR depends on your love for the franchise and the FPS genre in general. We think the amount of content and presentation sort of justify the price, and you could easily find worse deals on Steam or in the Oculus store. Still, 20 suicidal bunnies would have been spot on in terms of pricing in our overly sophisticated opinion. And to finally answer the question, the game does not have zombies. So I guess it is trash after all. Just kidding. I think. As always, make sure to boost our egos, and since we can't ask you for a donation, save for a piece of Oma's crusty old chocolate cake, you can always give us a like, or hell, even subscribe to this madness. Anyways, catch you on the flip side, boys. Ciao.